It is confirmed. It's fucking smoking hot outside today. Like even just sitting in the car with the AC, I'm already gonna have sweat marks before I even get fucking started. Now, part of that is also because now that I'm full of fucking food, if you were not aware, even just breaking down like carbs and fats and proteins, there's a bit of a thermogenic effect. So I'm let's just say I'm most prone to, I guess what you kind of just call fucking meat sweats the more food that I eat. To the point where me and a group of guys went to watch Into the Spider Verse, or whichever one the second one was. I was bulking at the time, and we get up, and my entire backside, I'm talking legs to shoulders, was was like completely soaked. Oh man, yeah, must wasn't getting enough ventilation with those leather AMC seats. But just another, well, I guess that's another selling point. Maybe it isn't the best move to bulk during the summertime, but I'm still under the opinion, I'm under the impression that to dictate the times when you should do anything fitness related is a little bit of a hindrance. It's a little bit of a hindrance to your actual, at least in general, to the general lifter's ability to lock into something. Because let's say it's right now. It's not mid-June. Oh, I was fucking bumping out in the motorcycle. But nearly the end of June. January, February, March, April, May, June. Dude, this year is halfway over. Have you been grinding? That's my obligatory 6 months deep into the year reference. Half the year already gone, man. But mid-June, if the lifter who is on the verge of like, okay, should I start bulking up now or should I start cutting down now? He's going to be a little bit swayed based on just the season, because he's probably going to say, well, I don't know, it's already like the middle of the summer. I don't know. If I start dieting right now, then, well, I'm not even going to be lean and going to be able to enjoy it. But if I don't want to start bulking up, I don't want to put on any extra body fat. I mean, it's still summertime. I'm still going to be going out to the pool. Whatever, whatever, honestly, right? So if that's you, just pick one. Pick one and stick to it. Because odds are, if you've been main gaining for long enough, then if you're at the point where okay, I want to make a move here. I want to either start bulking up or I want to start cutting down. I got to pick one. You need to pick one. You need to just pick. Flip a coin. It doesn't matter. Indecision. Right? In an instance like this, that is the wrong decision. Right? You're not going to be wrong to start bulking up seriously, and you're not going to be wrong to start dieting down seriously and get leaner for a little while. There is no wrong choice. There's only a choice. Right? The only wrong choice would be not to pick either of them, and then you're just going to maintain the same physique that you've had for the last 6 months. You're not making any noticeable gains. You're not really focusing so much on your progressive overload. The last thing that I want anybody to be able to say is, I've been working out for about 6 months now. I'm the exact same size, strength, and body fat percentage that it was in the beginning. Because all that means is all your training has only been going towards maintaining where you are, not progressing to where you want to be. So, if that's you, if you're on the fritz, if you're dangling on the edge, you're like, oh man, do I do it? Do I start to bulk up? You know what? I say yes. I say yes, God damn it. Right? If you're looking for any external sign on whether you should start bulking up or not, here it is. Yes. Right? Get that bulk fucking started right now. I'm talking get some packages of rice, get some Quaker's instant oats. I've been slamming those. I'm talking probably like 10 or so packs per day. 4 for breakfast, and then the rest kind of spread sporadically. But yes, start your bulk now. Yeah, gosh dang it. But plan for me with today's leg day, I may go a little bit lighter. I may not do so much heavy loading today, because I can tell my lower back's a little sore. Not in like an actual injured kind of way, but in a way where I'm definitely noticing a little. So if I were to continue to keep doing, my crazy heavy squats leg day after leg day after leg day, the damage may add up. Not that I think I'm on any track towards like a, you know, slip disc or anything, but that's something to keep an eye on. So no crazy heavy loading, but I'll see what I end up picking. So instead of really heavy Smith machine, maybe I just start off with a few more sets of leg extensions. And then once I'm already exhausted, well, at least my quads are exhausted, then maybe I'll just slam some lighter Smith squats. Or maybe, or maybe, oh, well, I'm definitely going to superset a ton of body weight sissy squats, that's for sure. But in either case, I know my quads are going to get wrecked. And I know I keep saying that I'm going to be doing more pressing volume, which I am, but on a lighter quad day like this, where I'm not so focused on trying to load up a crazy amount of weight, I'm not particularly concerned that there's going to be a good amount of leg extension volume. Because, don't get me wrong. Of course, I'm trying to say, right, I need some more pressing. It's just a different stimulation. That is in no way a rip. That is not a dig on leg extensions. Honestly, if I only had one movement to do for legs for the rest of my life, well, hamstring curls included, I'm going to have to pick the leg extension machine. In terms of just overall feeling for me, leg extensions get top spot. But that's basically tied with squats. They're good together. Right? They're good separate, but they're best together. So hamstrings first, quads second, and then some adductor and calves at the end to finish it off. This will be a perfect fucking leg day. I'm almost certain I'm going to be completely drenched in sweat because, and I don't know what it is about this gym in particular, but no matter how cold it is outside, it's always just a touch. Well, it doesn't even feel warm. I just always end up sweating. Maybe the air is a little bit less stagnant. They need to get the fans blown. I couldn't tell you for sure, but fast forward probably an hour and a half, hour 45 from right now, this shirt is going to be completely dark gray. Let's just cut to that first set of hamstring curls. Single-sided, light squeezing, perfect starter. I'm going to start with my left side first. My left hamstring is a little bit behind the right one. Okay. Oh. One more like that. Same weight, same everything. Okay. All right, I lied. One more. I know, so out of character for me, but these light squeezing sets feel fucking sweet, you know? Now, of course, this is not going to replace the high tension in my hamstrings that I feel from heavy hamstring curls or heavy RDLs, but you put anybody in front of a set of 20-pound dumbbell curls for 25 slow, controlled reps, it's going to be burning no matter how big they are. So as long as the effort's there, I don't care if you like a ton of these heavy, a ton of these light, controlled squeezing sets, or if you're more of a fucking, heavy kind of nutcase. As long as you're going hard, getting pumped, growing, and not hurting yourself, your training is clearly working, And there's a lot of different styles of training that fit under that, baseline umbrella of a, quality training routine description, So don't feel like it has to be perfect, because different kinds of shit is still going to work. But across the board, right, you want your intensity to be there to at least make sure you're on the right track. That's my thought process there. Oh, crap. Okay. Let's do one heavier double leg set and then do some Smith RDLs. Not too heavy, but heavier. After those 3 sets, my hamstrings are kind of cooked. So even if I could throw what the machine would say is like 205 around, I wouldn't even necessarily get so much of a squeeze out of it. I'm starting to evolve. If I can't really get at least a solid contraction on top, then the benefit of moving weight around for its own sake kind of begins to fucking diminish. That's kind of what I'm coming to understand, I think. But this will be a little faster paced. There's going to be some kind of forced partials at the end of it. But the intensity is what I'm really trying to maximize, regardless of the overarching style of set. Yeah. One notch heavier. Just a little. Oh, that's enough. At least for now. Let's go do somebody else. Whew. 4 sets deep. Hamstring's already cooked. Very nice. So I warmed up 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plates. 3 was a little heavy. 3 was a little bit too heavy. So instead, 2 plates and a 25. As much load as I'm comfortable with. So this will be a good one. Very squeeze focused. This is in no way as much weight as I can move, but it's as much weight as I can manually move using like 90% hamstrings and nothing else, which is a pretty important factor to fucking consider. You know, if I was doing 4 plates, but I'm using like half of all the strength required to lift it with my glutes, my lower back, then what the fuck am I doing here? You know, this is hamstring focused. Okay. Oh my God. Another few like that. Holy fuck. Okay. I think one more, and that'll be it for hamstrings. So, if I were kind of to describe what I'm trying to think about to flex my hamstrings and nothing else, it is a bit funky. You know, I wasn't doing RDLs for fucking 3 years because I couldn't even feel it. I couldn't really get it. But somehow, and this is up to you to decide, you know, I can't control your muscular activations, but you have to kind of relax your glutes, flex your lower back just enough to stay stable. And then I feel like as I pull myself up, I'm trying to pull my knees backwards and together. And that's honestly the best I can tell you, man. You know, half of it's just feeling it for yourself and figuring it out. That's like telling somebody how to pop their pecs. You know, it's like, it just kind of clicks one day. But one more. Oh. Holy crap. Okay. My hamstrings are fucking cooked. Let's breathe, unrack this weight, and go camp out at a leg extension. Oh man. All right. Nothing too fancy. 5 reps on the left side, 5 on the right, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, back and forth until my legs are pretty much as cooked as I can get them for this set. And we just go on from there. I'm fighting the burn here. This is not so much weight I can't even lift it. This is more of kind of an endurance test of how much discomfort I can handle, which is a good fucking litmus test for how bad I fucking want it. You know, if somebody can do a burning set where they barely get to discomfort and they say, "Oh, I can't do any more. Put it down." That person's gains will reflect their effort. Nah, let me pick a better song though. And I'm really focusing on squeezing all these ones as well. Yeah. Oh. Not bad as a starter set. Next one will be a bit heavier. Yeah. Okay. Let's switch leg extensions because we got fucking quite the array. There's 5 leg extensions at this gym. This is sick. But let's move on. Do a sissy squat superset. So here's the plan. Here's the game plan. 15, 20 reps, however many it takes to get to about pretty close to failure here. Double leg, slow controlled. Then I'm immediately gonna hop my butt off the seat, hold onto this for leverage and kind of balance stability, and do some body weight sissy squats. So this, the whole kind of benefit with doing those, because I mean, it's not like it's a movement that loads your quads the most. That'd be like a squat or a fucking leg press or something. But the stretch that I get on my quads from doing the sissy squats, especially combined with already being exhausted from doing these leg extensions, oh, let's just say this, unparalleled pump. So let's just get him started. Okay. Holy crap. No. No. Okay. Another few just like that. A little heavier on this set. Maybe less squeeze focused and more, get nasty focused. Oh crap. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah. One more, just like that. I gotta move the seat back one notch. There we go. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Let's go pose down and fucking discuss. Well, not completely sweat through, but well, I mean, let's be honest. Your level of sweatiness isn't necessarily a direct fucking indicator that you worked hard. It might just be a direct indicator that your gym needs to pay for AC. But I think the majority of the sweat came from some hard sets. So, kind of inadvertently, Today turned into a fucking hamstring focused leg day. Like most of the kind of harder, heavier work, or I guess the muscle that got hit in its entirety, I'd say it was really hamstrings. Quads, of course, got worked, but I, well, that might just be how I go fucking about it, you know? Like maybe make every other leg day a little different. You know, do one where I focus more so on the heavy quad loading, and another one where I focus more on the heavy hamstring loading. You know, kind of alternate between heavy squats and reasonably heavy RDLs, which I've kind of heard before. I've never really been a massive fan, but you know, I'm kind of coming to the point of being where I don't think I'm gonna be able to do squats 5 plates every fucking day or every leg day. It's gonna start to kind of wear me down. So maybe an alternating style will can be good for me. Let's crop in just a touch. So you tell me, are these a pumped ass set of legs or what? Because I'm inclined to think that they fucking are. Woo! Oh. Oh. Dude, my hamstrings are still so fucking pumped. I can't even like accurately squeeze it over and like spread them open. Oh goodness. But seriously fucking veiny. Let's do a little breath hold, really pump them out. Oh, I don't think those fucking veins are going anywhere. But a really good sign that kind of lets me say that today was an awesome pump is me just sitting here, no flexing, no nothing. My quads are fucking stiff. And if I flex them, dude, this does not feel like soft tissue, you know? So that's fucking badass for me. But yeah. So as these leg days progress over the next few weeks, I anticipate that the squatting, be it Smith machine, you know, fucking barbell, or likewise, will increase in weight a touch, you know, with increased size, as well as, you know, tons of fucking carbs and everything else. I am gonna see a noticeable strength increase, but nothing crazy. You're not gonna see me try to do a 7-plate fucking squat. That's beyond the realm of necessary for muscle growth. But, you know, if 5 plates on the Smith machine becomes butter over the coming months, I've got no problem with that. You know, as long as I don't pull anything or tweak my back or, you know, whatever else. Right? I say load it up, man. You know, the whole point of the working out, the whole point of every lift is to stress whatever muscle you just targeted pretty much as hard as you fucking can. And then it's your responsibility as a lifter to take full advantage of the time that you have outside of the gym to prioritize recovery. Yeah, a fucking, you know, if somebody does a really crazy lift, odds are they're not going to recover if they don't hit their calorie goals, if they're getting jack shit for sleep, and if they're not hydrated. You know, 2 Diet Cokes a day is not enough fucking fluids and electrolytes to keep your system running optimally. But if you've got your sleep on point, if you've got your diet on point, and you've got the heart to train like a fucking demon, I see no reason why you can't do that on a fucking perpetual basis. Now, that's barring injury, that's barring sickness, and in a way, that's also barring the beginner lifter, because there is something to there's something to be said about getting used to fucking working out. You know, I'm going to be much more sore in my first few months of working out than I am now, because now my body's kind of used to being in this situation of being stressed, right? You're going to fucking get accustomed to whatever your body's being put through over time. If your body couldn't do that, then we wouldn't be sitting here. We would have fucking, you know, died off to a superior species years ago, you know, millions of years ago. Right? But we're still here and kicking. And what that tells me is your baseline build and your baseline genetics, considering the fact that you're alive right now, are pretty fucking good. So I would never, ever try to think of that as an excuse not to go hard. Come on, man, you know? And even if you do have scrappy genetics, who gives a shit, right? Take that as a chip on your shoulder and say, fuck my genetics. I'm going hard anyway, right? Look, any excuse you can have to slack off, you have to somehow push that to the back of your mind, or better yet, Dispel it from your mind entirely. Now that's easier said than done, but if you got that dog in you, then you'll find a way. So I'm gonna go do adductors and calves, but for you, we're gonna get in the car. Oh my God. Potentially not the most destructive leg day that I've ever done, but certainly a productive one. I would go so far as to say. Hamstrings, definitely. That fucking, yeah, those RDLs are fucking sweet. This is something that's a little bit of a benefit towards the bulking side of things. It's that when you're fully fucking carved up, you're walking around all day with an actual, full stomach, you've got more than enough food in your system to fucking, energize and power your training. Things are just gonna fucking click for you, man. Like the let's just say the ease of pump basically doubles when you're full of fucking carbs and you're really just in a fed bulk state, so to the point where after those RDLs my lower back was so fucking pumped up. Oh my goodness. That's kind of so that's sort of half the reason right there why I'm not like a massive RDL fan, or at least why I haven't been historically. And it's because doing RDLs before heavy pressing for legs, I mean, RDLs totally fucking wreck my lower back. Not in like an injury way, but in like a fucking, fatigued, pumped kind of way, right? I'm not going to be able to put 5 plates comfortably on my back if my lower back is completely fucking pumped from doing heavy RDLs beforehand. So that's what makes me think I may kind of do a little bit of a back and forth style as legs progresses. But I think what that really is telling me is I need to get my hands on a fucking pit shark. That's essentially a belt squat, but the weight is it's on a pendulum, not on a cable. There's this one squat machine at the Hostile gym that I really fucking loved when I got to go over there. It was like just this massive fucking apparatus where there's like a pivot point like 6 feet that way. The pad is on my shoulder, and then the weight is loaded right in the middle. And I'm not sure you know how leverages and torques work, but when you're squatting on a barbell and you've got 500 pounds on your back, when you squat down, you feel every fucking pound of those 500. But when you're on something like one of those squat machines, I I forget what they're called. I don't even. There's kind of a newer, fancy like Panada version, I think. I can. It's kind of. I mean, I never see that piece of equipment anywhere. But since the weight is in the middle of this pendulum, right between where this bar is rotating from and where the weight is actually resting on my shoulders, I'm only feeling half of the weight of it. And when I move down in the squat, let's say I move down 3 feet, my shoulders go down 3 feet, the weight itself only goes down a foot and a half. So that's the same logic as to why a cable machine, like the cable stacks where you do like chest flies and everything, those are going to feel different than like the cable of a pull down, because for every for every foot that you pull a pull down cable, right, the weight is going to go up a foot. So it feels like you're just pulling a legitimate fucking weight, like out in the air, free motion. But with the cables and with any machine where the weight is essentially, let's say you've got higher than normal leverage on the weight, the tension is a little bit more constant because you're not building up any momentum. Like if you've ever seen somebody do nasty bent over dumbbell rows, you would know that they sit there and they might like rip the weight up and really get it started moving to the bottom, and then they get to kind of ride the momentum up. So at the top of the rep, they're not even really squeezing, you know. So that's why I kind of lean towards, if I'm going to do any kind of single arm rowing action, I lean towards doing single arm cable rows on like the cable stack where you do push downs and curls. Because as I'm sitting there doing a one arm row, even if I do kind of faster reps, I don't actually build up any momentum in the weight. Like if you're on a leg extension and you slam the weight up really quick, the cable stack flies up in the air for a second before it comes back down. on a cable stack, like for push downs and curls, you can't actually do that. So there's just much more constant tension. So, take notice next time you're at the gym if you haven't really thought about this before. Feel how the lat pull down moves, and then feel how one of the cables move. Right? It's just a little bit different. And the more you work out, the more you're actually just gonna get it. You know. So that's just something. Oh, so getting back to what I was saying, a pitch shark or a belt squat, the real fucking badass benefit with those is you get quad stimulation, heavy loading, without any fucking force being directed straight through your spine. If you've got a bad lower back, a belt squat's perfect for you. The only problem for me is none of my gyms around here actually have one. So that's where I think I might need to branch out and add an additional membership, get a gym that has a belt squat, because then I can get over here fucking really overload my quads without having to worry about over fatiguing my lower back and my whole kind of support system up here. The last the last few weeks, my left, I think it's my left shoulder blade or something. Whenever I do like barbell based squats, like whenever I do squats where there's a bar on my back, it kind of hurts my left side a little bit, not in like an injury kind of way, but more in just like a kind of a cold soreness sort of way. Because I think I was doing Smith machine squats one day like a month ago, and I kind of relaxed my back a little bit. I'm not sure if you know what your back kind of looks like when you're squatting, but you almost turn it into a cushion by really like retracting your shoulder blades and your traps and everything. So the bar isn't actually pushing on your spine or your shoulder blades. It's just pushing on like your rear delts and your mid traps and everything else. I was doing a squat and I got a little bit relaxed in my warm up, and I let all the weight sort of grind right up against my fucking shoulder blade, kind of like I hit my funny bone or something. But little things like that, right? Let's say you got a bum shoulder. I mean, I knew a guy who he totally wrecked his rotator cuff. He was doing overhead shoulder press, and he like let the weight get behind him. So the dude was just doing legs forever. He was doing tons of safety squat bar squats. But I'm sure if the gym that we were training at together, or at least the one that he went to, if it had a belt squat, his ass would be on the belt squat all fucking day, because he doesn't have to worry about overloading his fucking his fucking shoulders with that much weight. So anytime you've got anything, let's just say troublesome up top in your torso, a belt squat would be fucking perfect. So I'm just saying this from observation. I've never really done any working sets on like a belt squat or a pitch shark. I really need to. I keep seeing videos of Chris Bumstead doing the pitch shark, and I get jealous because I don't have one. But what else did I have to say? That's pretty much it. But lighter quad day, just kind of burn out, nasty pump work. Nothing too overloading. But hamstrings was really good. And I don't know what's going on, but like the RDLs are actually starting to feel really good now. Like if you've lifted for a while where now you can really like manually flex your chest when you're doing chest presses, then you remember a time when you would bench and you couldn't actually like manually flex your pecs when you're doing it. That's how I feel about hamstrings right now. Like hamstring RDLs are really kicking in. I don't know what I changed. Maybe it's just from doing it a little bit more often. But yeah, those are definitely going to be a staple in the hamstring routine. And I feel them way differently than I do from regular hamstring curls, which is to be expected. A cable fly is going to feel far different than like a bench press, even though you're working the exact same muscle group. So that's an instance where, for whatever given muscle, your actual exercise selection, I don't think is too critical. Right? I'm going to have a chest day if I do incline dumbbell bench, and I'm going to have a good chest day if I do incline machine press as like the primary mover. But going about each muscle group in basically every reasonably conceivable way that you can, I think that's going to be more of something you should actually focus on. Right? If someone's chest day was all heavy pressing, I might be kind of concerned, like, where's the flies? Where's your deep stretch flies, man? Where's your decline flies on the cables? What's going on here? And if somebody's back day was all pull downs, I'd say, dude, what's going on? Where are your rows, right? So that's where I'm getting a little bit more in tune with my training, because historically, I look at my leg days and I think, dude, all leg extensions only? What's going on here? Or no, all leg extensions only. That's perfectly fine. I'm making sure I get some more pressing in on the regular. And then with hamstrings, as much as I love hamstring curls, yeah, I can almost guarantee that these added RDL sets are going to give me a difference in the look of the hamstrings. Primarily being their fucking size. So plan now, go home, probably have a half pound of steak, maybe probably do about 150 grams of minute rice straight out of the microwave. I'm talking 5 minutes with a paper towel on top so that when the water starts boiling, it doesn't bubble all over the place. A variety of teriyaki sauce and barbecue sauce to keep things interesting. And then a ton of fucking water. Oh shit, I've actually kind of dried off a little bit. But there was a lot of perspiration going on today. So I got to make up for that. And not only on the fluid side of things, but also on the fucking electrolyte side of things, man. I hope you've got a good realization. When you sweat, that's not just water leaving your body. That's water and electrolytes. Right? I'm talking sodium, magnesium, lifteresium, every electrolyte there is. It's getting leached out of you. Right? Come on, you got to replenish that stuff. So electrolyte packets, add some salt to your anything. As long as, your high fluid intake is being matched with a good electrolyte array, then you're golden. Then you're fucking golden. And not only is that just going to make you feel better and train harder and get better pumps, it's going to stop you from having those fucking headaches, man. I can guarantee, and this is kind of from my own sort of, not three, what do they call it? Not a triple blind study, but every time I talk to somebody and they've got a headache in the gym, or anybody who has a headache at all, I I pretty much always fucking ask them, how much water did you drink today? Did you have any fucking electrolytes? I mean, the guy might have had like a coffee in the morning, or like some orange juice or something. Dude, not cool. As cliche as it is, you got to be carrying around that empty gallon milk jug of fucking water on the regular. Because the reason I'm going to tell you to do that is it's going to improve your lifts, but just in general, man, it's going to improve your life. If somebody has a nasty ass headache for 4 hours, how often are you even awake during the daytime? Let's say you got a lot of sleep, 8 hours. That's 16 hours left. If you've got a nasty ass headache for 4 hours, let's say even just 2 hours, that's what is that? That's like 10% of your day in complete fucking discomfort. If you can minimize that, that can be a pretty serious fucking game changer to your overall enjoyment. I know if I've got a pretty nasty headache for a while, which I haven't had for a fucking long time because I've been on my shit about my hydration, but if I were to have a nasty ass headache, that would be like the primary fucking negative thing of the day. Like, fuck, dude. And if I've got a nasty headache when working out, which I've had before, dude, it sucks. Not only does it suck because it just feels like shit, but also you're not even gonna be able to push yourself that hard. If you've got a real headache and you try in your workout is a leg day and you're about to start squatting, dude, it feels like your fucking brain is gonna explode. So you tell me, would you rather deal with slamming a bunch of water all day, or would you rather deal with fucking nasty ass exertion headaches, which are gonna ruin your pump, ruin your mood, and really just add to an overall sense of negativity related to the gym in total? Right? Don't give yourself too much credit. If you're uncomfortable in the gym on a consistent basis, your brain will take a note of that. And eventually it's going to come to the conclusion, dude, stop going. This sucks. You don't like this. This hurts you. Don't do that. So as motivated as you can be, that little nagging kind of subconscious itch to keep you in a comfortable state, that's going to come into play. So everything that you can do in your power to be in your most comfortable, I don't want to say relaxed because you shouldn't be really that relaxed when you're actually working out, but comfortable, engaged state during your workouts, and hopefully enjoyable. That's going to be what you're aiming for. So that's the last of my little 2 cents there. Drink your water, get your sleep, take your pre-workout. You know the drill. So cardio in the morning, freaky chest day tomorrow, and that's pretty much all there is to say. God dang it. So I'll see you then.